All right, we've got another great show for you today. I will tell you about it in a second. But first, I have to tell you, Santa Claus is coming to town. He's actually coming here to Rogers, taking phone calls of girls and boys across Ontario. So your sons and your daughters can call in. We've got the dates and times listed on your screen for Santa's phone-in show. Or you can email Santa for your chance to get your wishes read during the show. How easy is that, right? So just call that number right there. You can visit rogerstv.com/Toronto to find all of our holiday programming to enjoy with your entire family. All right, we have a great show for you today. Coming up on today's show, chatting about the new midlife. As we get older today, we don't have the same kind of lives that our parents or our grandparents had when they reached this stage of life. So how is it different? What's different about this stage of life in the new generation? We're going to talk about all the ways it's different, and it's good. I think it's mostly good. Rebecca Eckler is here, and registered dental hygienist Anaida Deti. Then we're going to beat the stress of holiday shopping. We've got some seasonal spa treatments that are going to just help take the edge off. Winter entertaining with the kids and sweet potatoes. You know, the kids are going to be around all the time, right? So during the holidays. So how do you make this cozy comfort food for them and get them involved too? Holiday gift ideas and events. Maybe you're a last-minute shopper. This will be perfect for you. The Shops at Don Mills has everything you need for hostess gifts or even a treat for yourself. And then a Christmas performance from the one and only Canada's legendary pop idol, Bobby Curtola, is here. He's got a new single for Christmas, and he's working on a brand new album. So stick around. All that and more. Daytime Toronto starts right now. Oh, better not. We've got journalist and author and host of New Midlife Moments, Rebecca Eckler, who's been on the show many times talking about your newspaper column and everything else that you do. And she's brought along registered dental hygienist Anaida Deti to talk about the great things you guys are covering on your show, which is on it's called New Midlife Moments. And where can we hear it?
You can hear it on Sirius Radio, Canada Talks, channel 167.
Brilliant. And you talk to people about all aspects of this new midlife, right?
Yeah. I mean, I find it such a fascinating sweet spot demographic that no one's really covered before because we're so lost. Like, our parents' generation were so different from us, and the way we're bringing up our kids these days are so different from the way we were brought up that it's just like a big mesh of mayhem trying to figure it out.
That's right. I mean, I think of my mom at my age, and her life looked entirely different from mine. I've got this little young kid because there's a whole lot of us now that are older moms with younger kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was 40 when I had, he's now 2, so that's one thing, but I mean, even if you just like looked, and I didn't even think about what I threw on this morning, but my mother, she would never have worn ripped jeans because there wasn't ripped jeans back then. In fact, she told me slacks were just coming in style, and even to use that word, slacks. I'm like, slacks.
Trousers.
And then I would ask her, you know, I'm like, what's the greatest technology that came out during your midlife? And she's like, the microwave. I'm like, the microwave. Meanwhile, my 2-year-old is on his iPad, you know, doing things that I could not even tell you. And then we get into the beauty stuff, like the teeth whitening. Like, there are so many options now in this new midlife to stay looking young and acting young that it's endless. Like, there's, you know, one plastic surgeon named Dr. Bray. Like, he writes about, he talks about how you now have to, you know, if you get Botox and now your face looks all young, well, now you look at your hands. People look at your hands. So
now we've got to get our hands Botoxed?
You got to get your hands and knees. And knees you can Botox.
No, really?
Well, yeah, unless you want to go on a beach vacation covering your hands.
Equally the same.
That's right. People go, oh, wow, you look great.
But even the teeth whitening, like, I mean, we're living longer, and like, I know, you know, I didn't really, you know, you notice now these little things that can easily be fixed. And
do our teeth change as we age?
Absolutely, the teeth change a lot, like the hair, like the wrinkles and everything else, the teeth change. So there are quite a few things that you can do to help with the teeth so they look younger. So some things are for sure the cosmetic procedures, like the teeth whitening that you can do, and there are different types of teeth whitening, like the take home or in office.
Which is better?
And both of them are equally the same if you use them properly, but I usually say the one that we like the most is the in-office one, because you can actually control it instead of the take-home is on the patient's hands. So you don't really know how they are using and if it's done correctly or not.
Right.
And one thing that I was talking to Rebecca earlier that she was actually asking was drinking wine or coffee through the straw. So it's
should we be doing that at the Christmas parties?
Don't you see people walking around with their Starbucks in the morning with straws?
Straws.
And I always giggle, but then I always say, "You're so smart." Because I have to now go get my teeth whitened.
I thought it was for the lipstick.
No,
no,
but
no.
It's for the teeth.
Oh,
because it goes directly through the throat.
we
It
don't
doesn't
get-
go around the
That's
teeth.
right, because we get a little dark spot
Exactly.
right there where we're constantly sipping.
Exactly.
So it bypasses all of that.
And another, this is just kind of crazy, but we haven't met before today, but her sister-in-law does my hair. She has this spa called Casetta Salon, which is pretty well known in Toronto. And one of your next guests even said, "Oh, you know, I turned my life. I wanted the Taylor Swift haircut." So we're in our 40s and we're trying to copy the younger generation's haircuts now, even, right? Which I thought was pretty. I thought it was pretty funny.
This generation refuses to get old. We are not going to allow it, right?
Not materialistically, unfortunately, and it is. I find it a little sad because, you know, to get Botox and even when I go to Casetta, everybody is definitely over 40. I would say 40 to even 80, and they're all getting hair extensions now. In my mom's age, she chopped that hair off once she had children, right? Like, that was it, the short haircut. But now all these middle-aged women are walking around with long, gorgeous hair.
I love that you're talking about this stuff, and I love the show idea. And these are little quick things that we can just pick up and take with us, right? It's short little 5-minute bursts. Is that right?
Yeah, they're short 5-minute bursts with like interesting guests. Like we had like, you know, Margaret Trudeau come on and talk about what it was like when she was 20 and she married Pierre Trudeau, our former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, when she was 20, and she even said, "I would kill my daughter if she married someone who was whatever the age difference was. I can't remember, but 30 years older than I am." So she was a very interesting guest. So we're getting a lot of people to talk about what it was like when they went through their midlife, and now how it is for them, and it is quite fascinating. It is, and we had like one of the Real Housewives on. Carol Radswell, who's the princess on the New York one. Is it the New York one? And anyways, but she was quite funny because she lost her husband in midlife. So she started talking about, you know, dating in midlife. And oh my gosh, my friends who are single because they're getting divorced in midlife, another thing that was in our parents' generation, kind of under the radar. You never really talked about it. You know, and so it's so interesting. I hear these horror stories from my friends about dating in midlife.
Wow, I love it. So we've got to tune in. Well, I don't love, you know what I mean. I love that you're talking about this stuff on your show. New Midlife Moments. We can get it on XM Sirius Radio, channel 167. Is that right?
Yes,
All right, we got to find it. Thank you both so much for being here today. All right, so check it out. New Midlife Moments, 5 times a day on Canada Talks, Sirius XM Radio, channel 167. We'll be right back.